60 years ago today, the U.S. dropped its first atomic bomb on Hiroshima. The solemn anniversary hits close to home for many Japanese Americans that live right here in Fresno.
That's because most Japanese Americans in the valley are descendants from immigrants of Hiroshima.
Japanese journalist Mari Sakamoto teamed up with our own Norma Uriar for a special report for you tonight.
That's right. Norma joins us now live after speaking with those ones who lost their loved ones.
That's right, Daryl, Brandy. You know, 60 years after Japanese Americans dropped their first atomic bomb on Hiroshima, they're speaking out, including one atomic survivor. They're all remembering their loved ones, friends, and the nearly 140,000 people, that is, killed instantly on August 6, 1945.
I remember August 6th vividly. It was a really clear, beautiful day. The sun was shining.
And everybody was going to work, and all of a sudden, a plane came over and dropped the bomb.
They had dropped the bomb at 8:15 Japan time.
I was in my house and suddenly I felt a strong earthquake. My house started shaking. I panicked and went outside to find out what happened. I saw orange big cloud. It looked like a big mushroom in the sky.
An atomic bomb, nicknamed Little Boy, had just exploded above the city of Hiroshima in one of the most dramatic actions of World War II. Catherine Kubota is first-generation Japanese American. She shares her memories from her Fresno home. The 74-year-old remembers clearly that very hot day, early in the morning, when the atomic bomb was dropped. She says her father was at work.
But I could not reach him. Telephone was not popular yet, and my family didn't have one.
Catherine's father survived the attack.
My relatives survived because they were living outside central Hiroshima.
But most of the people living in Hiroshima did not.
More than half of city's population was killed instantly from radiation, fire, or burns.
Their clothes were burnt off, their skin was melted and just hanging.
I saw thousands of human bones that were piled up like wood. It was a nightmare.
So it was not just that Japanese people were killed, it was also American servicemen that were prisoners of war.
More than 200,000 people were killed. Others were left scarred for life.
You don't find very many people that will actually talk about it.
Like 80% of Japanese Americans living in Fresno County today, Robert Shintaku's ancestors immigrated from Hiroshima. Some family members did live to tell of the devastation.
She saw a woman with a child, and her child was feeding on her, but without knowing that the mother was dead.
My great-grandparents, my grandmother's family, was there when the bomb dropped.
Elise and her sister Lauren are fourth-generation Japanese Americans living in Fresno. They just got back from a trip to Hiroshima, where they learned important lessons not taught in American schools.
The effects of the bomb on the people of Japan wasn't highlighted in my history books.
It took a trip halfway around the world for the sisters to understand the devastation and the power of the atomic bomb.
I can't believe that it really happened. It's scary to think that someone you know cared about had to go through that.
But there are many people in Fresno who survived and went through it and are sharing their stories. Stories they hope will teach future generations a dire consequence of war and about the human spirit and will to survive. Now, a memorial service to honor victims of the atomic bomb will be held next Sunday. That's August 14th at 1 p.m. at the Fresno Buddhist Church Annex on Kern Street. For more information, you can call 322-1210. Now, the memorial is being postponed until next week because another group of students from local students that went to Hiroshima are expected to come back, and they want those students to participate in the actual memorial service.
So different to hear the accounts from the people who are actually there. We read about it in history books, but to hear it come out of their mouths is a completely different experience.
No, absolutely, and it does change you. When you hear those things, you can't help but to be moved by people's experiences.
Any of them express any opinions about the proliferation of nuclear weapons today? Have any message regarding that?
Of course, they're saying next time, or if we ever consider doing such a thing, to think twice about it. And those images, I think, make you reflect and realize that maybe we should.
All right. Thank you, Norma. 50 local children got